Hi! How are you guys? It's been a long time since I've uploaded. It's been, what, like 3 years? Almost 3 years? I don't really make a lot of videos unless something major in my life happens. The last time I uploaded was me reacting to Made in the AM, which, I mean, hey, it's still a good album, almost 3 years old. I was 17 when that came out, and now I'm 20. We're all dying. If you're wondering what I've been up to in the last 2.5, 3 years, I've literally just been working and going to college. The other half of the time, I'm either hanging out at my boyfriend's house or I am at home watching YouTube videos and reading fan fiction. I guess the other people that I would consider my idols other than One Direction are Dan and Phil. I have been a fan of Dan and Phil since like 2012, I would say. I was just never like a hardcore fan up until maybe 3 years ago. They have had a big impact on my life. They are just great people. They have a great message in all of their videos, whether it's silly or sincere. They just overall make me smile when I don't feel like smiling because they're good eggs. So, over the last 2 weeks, I was lucky enough to go see them on their tour, Interactive Introverts, 3 times. Oh my god. I was originally only going to go to 2, and then I was like, you know what? YOLO. As most of you probably know, they did tour back in 2016. I was not able to go to that one because I was still in high school and my mom would not let me. Even though I was going to pay my own way, I was going to get my own way there. They had nothing to do with it, but she was like, "No, you're not missing school." But now I'm an adult. I make my own decisions. I make my own money. I drive my own car. And goddamn it, I was not going to miss this tour. So, fast forward to about November of last year, I got tickets for the Cincinnati show and the Columbus show. The thing that I did not get was I was not lucky enough to get VIP when the tickets first went on sale. And I was so crushed by that because I had wanted nothing more than to meet them and thank them for, you know, everything they've done for me over the past few years. And so I was really devastated. That day, I told myself, I'm gonna sneeze. I was not going to rest. I was determined to find a VIP ticket for one of the 3 Ohio shows. 3 weeks ago, lo and behold, I just happened to get on the tour website, click through some of the venues, and I find 2 VIP tickets for the Cleveland show. You bet your ass I instantly clicked on those and I bought those babies. I bought 2 of them because you're like, oh, Carrie, you have a friend? No, I don't have a friend. I made my boyfriend go with me because Cleveland is like a 3.5-hour drive from my house, and I was not about to go that far by myself into a city that I haven't even been to since I was like 5. I mean, he's a fan of them. He just doesn't like, you know, all the screaming teenage girls and all that atmosphere, but he got through it. When I went to the Cincinnati show, that was on July 28th, we ended up getting like 6th row from the stage. We were like the row that was directly behind everybody that had VIP. We went to the Cincinnati show. It was amazing. I didn't take a whole lot of pictures there because unfortunately you couldn't take pictures during the performance, which I was so gutted about. Like, I understand videos because that can really spoil it, but I think pictures would have been fine. The Cincinnati show was my first time seeing Dan and Phil in the flesh, not through a TV screen, full human, real people. Needless to say, when that screen went dark and that opening video played and that smoke started coming up and they started slowly ascending out into the stage, my wig flew off. It's that same reaction that you have every time you see somebody that you have idolized for so many years. Like, unless you've been to one of their shows, you do not understand how much prettier they are in person. Those screens, that 1080p resolution, it does not do any justice to how beautiful they are in real life. And they were doing like the introduction where they were just talking and, you know, all that. I was awestruck that entire time just looking at both of them. Oh my god. They are so fucking beautiful. like my brain literally could not comprehend all the flawlessness that was in front of me. I have never seen such beautiful humans in my life. I was laughing the entire time. I don't think I've ever laughed for such a long period of time in my life. It was so good, so funny, so unique, so different. They are so good at what they do. Like the whole ride home, I'm just sitting, like, I'm just talking to myself in the car like, oh my God, they are so good at what they do. I hope they never stop doing what they do. I was in such a state of awe and satisfaction that I was like, the Cleveland show. It was July 31st. I was originally supposed to work that day. I called in the morning and I told my manager that I had been throwing up all night, so I wasn't going to make it in. Because meeting Dan and Phil is way more important than going to work, am I right? We had to leave at like 12:30 at the latest because it was a 3.5-hour drive. Had to be there for check-in at 4. I came in and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be fucking talking to them and hugging them and like that's when the nerves started setting in. The whole time I was so nervous. I was shaking like a fucking chihuahua. I'm just looking at my boyfriend. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We're about to fucking meet Dan and Phil. We're about to meet Dan and Phil. We get up there. The girl before me is going, and then Marianne comes up to me and she goes,
I'm gonna have you wait just a minute because I'm gonna let the guys have a drink break.
are you kidding me? You're gonna make me wait another... I give Marianne my book so she can give it to them to sign. She goes, are you ready? And I'm like, no. I walk, I turn the fucking corner, and there they are, taller than ever, so angelic. Literally, I completely blanked on what I was gonna say. Like, I had it all planned out what I was gonna say to him, and then I completely blanked, as most people probably did. But yeah, they're signing my book, and Dan goes, nice choice of page. And I'm like, I had no idea what to say to that. I was like, yeah, I love that picture. Once I could finally gather some coherent thoughts, I was like, oh my God, you guys have no idea how much you've done for me. You've impacted my life so much. I can't thank you enough. And literally, the look on their faces is something that, like, when I was saying that, I kept like darting back and forth between both of them because I wanted to see the reaction. And Dan, just the biggest smile I've ever seen on his fucking face. He's like, oh, it makes us so happy to hear that. And, you know, we appreciate you watching our videos and all that. And then like Phil is just over here like with his cute little kitten smile. And he's like, oh, that means so much to us. And a reaction to like anybody telling them they've impacted your life, their reaction to that is so priceless. Oh my God. They are so flawless and ethereal up close. Like, when you're like that fucking a foot away from them and looking at them, you're like, oh my God, you two people are the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. Like, they really are. They are gorgeous. They are ethereal. They are angelic. They are so flawless. Their skin is glowing. And then when I went in for the hug, Phil was wearing that white and black shirt with the stripes down the sleeves. It was so soft. I was like, holy crap, I want to wrap up in this and die. Of course they had to match. Dan had that black t-shirt on that has the stripes on the sleeves. They both give such amazing hugs. Oh my God. I asked to do the hand-holdy selfie, which I have tiny hands, so they literally could have closed their fists around my hands if they wanted to. And then I also got individuals. also made some art for them that I gave to Marianne so she could put it in like the pile of stuff. And I really like making calligraphy, so I made both of their names in calligraphy, and then on the inside of their names I wrote down words that people use to describe them. I really hope they saw it, and I really hope they liked it, because I spent a lot of time doing that shit. The show comes, we were closer this time, we were the 4th row from the stage. And once again, they put on an amazing show. At the Cincinnati show, I got to see Phil on the wheel, and then at the Cleveland show, I got to see Dan on the wheel, which I was so happy I got to see both of them on the wheel. Phil looks sexy as fuck in that torture apron, let me just tell you. I didn't catch the ball for any of the things at either of the shows I went to, but if I did, my answer for what was in Dan's box would have been my wig, because my wig was snatched that whole time. So that was the Cleveland show. It was amazing. Oh, if you're wanting to know the merch I bought the tour t-shirt, the tour sweatshirt, and the plushies. I wanted to buy so much more, but God, I've already spent too much money on this whole experience. I needed to set a boundary. Now on to the Columbus show, which I actually had sold my original ticket for because I found way better tickets. They were floor 2, row A. And it was like the best seats in the fucking house. But I bought those tickets. It did not specify if they were VIP or not. Since it didn't specify, I just assumed that they weren't. The day before, we were on the way to Cleveland, and I was in the car on Twitter. I saw somebody tweet a VIP ticket for Columbus that was for sale. It was floor 2, row B. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, that's behind my row, and that's VIP. So does that mean that I have another VIP ticket for tomorrow? So just to be safe, the next morning, I call the venue and I talk to the guy. I'm like, I bought these tickets. It didn't specify if they were VIP or not. I was just wondering if you can tell me if they are. And I told him where the seats were. And he says,
yeah, those look like they're on the VIP list.
And I was like, okay, thank you, bye. Hang up the phone. I literally screamed, holy fuck, I'm meeting Dan and Phil again. And I'm in row A. That means I'm going to be front row. I was not emotionally ready for this. I had to work till 3. Check-in for VIP started at 4. And Columbus is an hour drive from my house. So I get off work, I literally change my clothes in my car, and then I'm just driving like 90 all the way to Columbus because I don't want to be late for VIP. Luckily when I got there were still people in line getting through the gates and stuff, so I was good. Here I am again in the VIP line. I actually was by myself this time. I made some friends in the VIP line. One of them shared the same name as me, and I was like, yes, name twins. I made three friends in the VIP line. We actually are still keeping in contact, or we're at least trying to. So they were all really nice people, so sweet. You just meet so many amazing people in this fandom. So I didn't even get to see like when they came out. I heard people screaming, but I didn't see them. I saw like videos people posted on Twitter, and they were wearing their matching denim jackets, which I was like, cool, punch in the face for me. And one of the friends I had made in line was like, can you film me meeting them? And I was like, yeah, sure. So she was before me, so I take her camera, and I'm just standing back here filming her, just admiring their beauty, because once again, they looked flawless, glowing, pure, beautiful, angelic. Just admiring just how beautiful they are in person. I can't even explain to you how beautiful they are. So she gets done, I give her camera, Phil turns to me and he goes, would you like a hug as well? I was like, of course. So I like run up to Phil, I just throw my arms around him again. Oh my God, they smell delicious. Some expensive ass cologne, because you know, Capital Lester over here has got to buy top of the line products for him and his man. I have never smelled such good smelling men's cologne in my life. It was wow. And Dan was wearing his jacket off the shoulder like the cute little twink that he is. I was a lot calmer, had my thoughts a lot more together that day. I was like, I don't know if you guys remember me. I don't know why I said that, because obviously they don't remember me. They meet so many people a day. Why would they remember me? But I met you guys last night too. I was in Cleveland, And Dan was like, oh, great, I hope you enjoyed the show. And I was like, yeah, it was fantastic. It was so good. I was laughing like the entire time. I also saw you guys in Cincinnati. You guys just put on an amazing show. You're so good at what you do. Please never stop. Like, I'm just spouting word vomit at this point. Like, the look on their faces when you're talking to them, like, they look genuinely interested in what you're saying. I had to stop filming the other day because I ran out of space on my camera. You know, I was talking about how genuine Dan and Phil are when you meet them in person, and they're so understanding, you know? Especially if it's like your first time meeting them and you're like just a shaky, anxiety-ridden mess. Like, they completely understand. Like, they're really calm. They totally get it, you know? Especially Dan, because I'm sure he was the same way when he first met Phil. The other thing is they don't rush you at all. Like, granted, you're not really allowed to stand there for 5 minutes and have a conversation, but I mean, they don't like rush you through it. They're really, really patient, and they let you say what you want to say. I'm sure that they never get sick of hearing how much what they do has helped people in their everyday life. That is so powerful. Meeting Dan and Phil was definitely something that I will never, ever forget. I will never forget. I will never regret it. I will never regret spending my money on all of this because it was so worth it. If you're wondering, the VIP bag, woohoo, it comes in this white bag with blue letters and blue glitter that says Interactive Introverts. So what comes in the bag is this lovely picture of Dan and Phil. I actually got one of mine signed the second time I met them. And then you get this lovely little lanyard. It's really nice. And you get this lovely picture of them on it. And on the back are all the dates of every single Interactive Introvert show. And then you get this bracelet that says Introvert on one side, and then, oh, it's reversible. It says Dan and Phil World Tour, or 2018 World Tour. I have tiny wrists, so it's more like an armband for me. I'm going to talk about a couple of spoilers from the Columbus show, because this one was probably my favorite out of all three. One of the reasons being I was front row, was not expecting that at all. When we get into the arena, this place is humongous, and I'm front row. Front and center, bitch. So I'm going to talk about some moments that stuck out to me in particular. So spoilers up ahead if you don't want to know. Okay, some people just want to wait till the DVD's out, so I don't blame you. Toward the beginning of the show, when they did the part where they strip, so Phil unbuttoning his shirt with one fucking hand, I was like, let's start digging my grave now. The other times that was pretty personal for me was when they were doing the simulation, and it was Phil's simulation, and it was the part where Satan appears on the screen. So Dan was reading it, and he was like, a kooky dude appears. And right as he said, it's Satan, I just yelled, yes, as loud as I could, because I thought other people would have started cheering, because that's what happened at my other shows, but nobody else really cheered. Like, there was a couple of people that were like, but I yelled yes, like, as loud as I could. Keep in mind, I'm in the front row, so they're gonna hear me. And Dan goes,
Who just screamed yes?
right when he did that, I threw my hands up in the air and was just like, yes! Phil looked right at me with just like this biggest cheesy smile on his face, and I was like, oh my god! And then for the Q&A bit, where after like the shocking and all that, when they sit down on the stage and just like talk, Phil Lester sat down like 3 feet in front of me. He was so close to me. If he had been any closer, I would have been able to smell his sweat. The whole time, like me and like the couple of girls that were around me that just had this beautiful view of Phil. When he sat down, like we all just reached our arms out and we're like, God, it's you! Just in awe at how beautiful he is. I kept looking at like the freckles on his arms because he's got like the cutest freckly little arms. Oh my god, it was an experience. And one of the last things that stood out to me, and by far the reason why I took a pregnancy test the day after, is during Phil's diss track, son of a bitch gets out his hat, gets out his glasses, gets out a jersey and puts it on over his shirt and did the rap. Dear God. But being front row and him having a fucking jersey on just completely, it destroyed me. I'm still recovering from it, and it's been almost 2 weeks. Literally just gasping for air. And then when it gets to the part where it's like, don't want to get demonetized, he did the little money thing, and then he also thrusted his hips right in our faces. Thrusts his hips. I literally choked. My wig was completely snatched. Everything was snatched. My wig, my lashes, my nails, everything was snatched. I will never ever get over that. And then it was over. My soul was like destroyed in that moment. Well, implying that I have a soul. Oh, that about wraps it up. This has definitely been one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I can't even begin to express how thankful I am for getting the opportunity to meet them, not only once, but twice. The second time being completely unexpected. I never thought that I would be so lucky to be able to meet them. I'm thankful for the opportunity to meet them. I'm thankful for all the people that I have met through them, all the people that I met at the shows, and the amazing time I had at all 3 shows. I mean, they're just so good at what they do, and I hope they never ever stop, and I hope they realize how much their fans appreciate what they do, and just how proud of them we all are. I mean, I've never been so proud to call myself a fan of somebody, because they're such selfless people. Like, they're not like your average YouTuber who flaunts about their money, and you know, it makes me so happy that they are such good influences, well, for the most part. I'm so grateful for everything they've done for me in the last 5 years. This is my cat. Everybody say hi to Lily. Oh, before I get emotional and start crying on camera, I am gonna go. I love Dan and Phil so much. They are everything to me, and thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're all doing well. If you want to interact with Introverts, share your experience down in the comments. I would love to read about it. All of my social media is going to be down in the description box. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and take care. Bye.